Hey, so how would it feel if you're able to control and overcome your biggest fears? Feels good, right? Exactly. I can actually feel that and how good it is because, I relate a lot to it. So in previous videos, I shared how I was for a very long time taunted and paralyzed and disturbed by fear and how it really wreaked a lot of havoc. It happened for a very long time until I really got fed up and I decided to indeed make something change. And so I went into this quest where I began learning about how to successfully overcome and to control fears. And please don't get me wrong, we always have fears and we'll continue to have fears, but the onus is on us to actually come up with ways to learn to control the fears so the fears don't control us. And so for me, there are a number of things that I've actually come to realize and I've learned to overcoming and controlling my fears, and I'll be sharing with you 4 of them here today. So the first one is that I basically changed the story I told myself. So for the longest time too, I also had a lot of struggle with self-doubt, and these were coming from limiting beliefs that I had. Limiting beliefs that I wasn't good enough, that I didn't have what it takes to excel and to achieve my goals, that I wasn't worthy or capable of achieving, great things. And so this formed a lot of fears in my life, fear of rejection, fear of failures, and some other kind of fears, until I basically had to get all of those cleared up through different practices and exercises and help that I was able to get from coaches. And basically now I'm telling myself a different story, that I'm worthy, that I'm capable, and I am deserving of great things. And so I've been able to clear up, and I'm still working on, and also continuously clearing up those limiting beliefs and story that I told myself. And so things have begun to turn around as well. So that was one thing. And then the second thing was actually to tame my thoughts. This one is a very big one. So of the thousands of thoughts that we think every single day, studies have actually been able to show that a whopping, sweeping 84% of them are negative. In fact, they have a term for those, and that is called automatic negative thoughts. And why is this important? It's important because, you see, fear is actually a feeling. And as with any feeling or emotion, they are triggered by the thoughts that we think. And that's why we always want to overcome the negative thoughts. And that's something that definitely helped me with overcoming negative thoughts so I can get rid of my fears. And so there are 2 strategies that I've been able to successfully knock down these automatic negative thoughts. So the first one is called opposition thinking. And this is where basically I will take those negative thoughts each time they come to my mind, the what if thoughts, and I will switch them to obtain the what if not effects. For example, if I was getting ready for a presentation or a talk and I had this automatic negative what if thoughts come to me saying, oh, you're not going to do very well, you're going to flop, in fact, you're not going to remember what you were to say, I would actually take those what if thoughts and switch them to what if not. In other words, what if I actually did really very well at this presentation and I knocked it up and maybe even got a standing ovation for the talk. And so I would take this what if not thoughts, and then apply the second technique, which is the creative visualization. This is where basically I would begin to stew in on those desirable what if not thoughts. In other words, the positive thoughts that I want for myself, and see myself performing really very well at that presentation. And this way, I'm actually able to see my level of self-confidence rise up, and I don't really feel the fear anymore. And that way, I'm bold and confident and powerful to go step in and do that action. And that's the second thing. And then the third thing is for me that I do is just to do it afraid. In other words, I would go ahead and face the fear because I believe that's the only way we can overcome the fear, to face it head on. And that to me is courage. You see, courage is not the absence of fear. Courage is basically feeling the fear but going ahead to do it anyway. And for me, this has been really very profound because most times what I've been able to realize is that the fears that I actually eventually go ahead to face, when I come across on the other side, I realized that they were not even as terrible as I thought. And so each time I go ahead to do this, to act in spite of the fear, I realize that I'm even much more confident and I'm bold that I can't just wait to go face the next fear, because I know it's going to be conquered the same way, because it's not as terrible as I thought. And then the fourth point is that I would surrender to a greater power. And so for me, the greater power is God, because I just normally would say to myself that if God is for me and God is with me, who can be against me? I just say nobody, because I know that He's bigger than anything and He's also bigger than my fear. So having to remind myself of this point also helps build my confidence, because I know that God is with me and God is for me, and He's going to help me to overcome the fear that I face. And He helps me definitely. And so for me, these are actually 4 points and action steps that I take in helping me to control and to overcome my fear. And ever since I've been applying this, the things I used to run away from, now I'm beginning to run towards them. And I'm hoping, that you could just get to try this out and see how it goes for you. And I'm just believing that, irrespective, I just want you to also remember and to know that you have what it takes to overcome your biggest fears, because you are just awesome. And so I'm hoping that you would, just try this out, and I believe you would see positive results. I would also like to learn and hear how it goes as well. And so let's also remember, just also want you to remember that, we'll always have fears, but the onus is on us again to take and apply certain principles that would help us to overcome and conquer those fears. So as usual, I thank you for watching, and I also want you to always remember that you are awesome and you are amazing, and that you're fearfully, wonderfully, and beautifully and handsomely made by God, and that you are worthy, you're capable, and deserving of great things, because you have greatness inside of you. And so go shine your light. It's been Franklin here. Thank you for watching. God bless and peace.